Hey guys, my name's Elise, I'm from Balancing Bodies, and today I'm going to be taking you through this beautiful short practice to open, release, stretch and let go in the upper body. So we're going to be working into the hands, the wrists, shoulders, the forearms, the chest, the upper back, the lower back, the traps, the delts, everything like that, just to get a beautiful overall release for the whole upper body area. So I hope you like it. Welcome to your practice. So today we're going to start off in a child's pose position. So we're actually going to take into a wide-legged child's pose. So take the knees as wide as the mat, the big toes come together to touch, sink the bottom down towards the heels, and then start walking the hands out in front. You want to reach the arms nice and long, the forehead will come towards the floor. Try to keep the bottom drawing back towards the heels as much as you can. Just relax the arms to start with. You might even like to just stack the forearms and rest the forehead on top if that feels better. Otherwise, just reach it out. Be soft here. Breathe into the back body. Feel a softening come over the whole body. Just give yourself some time to center and ground into your practice as we take the next little while to give some love and nourishment to the upper body. And then from here, let's gently just come up onto the hands. Maybe walk the hands in slightly. Inhale, just take your left arm up towards the ceiling. And exhale, thread that left arm underneath the right. Palm of the hand is facing towards the ceiling. Maybe you soften down onto that left side, keeping that right arm reaching out nice and long. Getting a nice release into the back of the left shoulder. Nice deep breaths. In and out. And then gently, slowly walk yourself back up. Inhale, reach that left arm all the way back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, take it back down to the floor, swap sides. Inhale, reach the right arm up nice and tall. Exhale, slide it through underneath the body. Sink that right shoulder towards the floor, walk that left hand back out in front. Breathing here. We're going to hold the poses for a little bit longer in this sequence today, just to really get that beautiful, nice release into the upper body. Really focusing on the shoulders, the delts, the traps, all of that whole upper body area, as well as down the spine, the chest. And then gently, slowly, inhale, bring that right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, just come back to your child's pose. From here, you can keep the knees wide, or you might like to walk the knees into hip distance apart. Sink yourself back down, forehead towards the mat, and then you can keep the arms reaching out in front, or you might like to interlace the hands behind the back. Try to keep the palms of the hands drawing towards one another, and maybe reach the arms up and over away from the body. Maybe they stay right at the lower back. That's a beautiful option as well. But just take them to wherever you can. Really working into the fronts of the shoulders here, while still letting the spine melt and soften. Try to keep the neck soft. Keep breathing deeply. And then gently, slowly release. Bring the hands down to the floor. Roll yourself all the way up. If your knees are still wide, walk them in so you can come to sit on the knees. Now, option one is to stay sitting on the knees like this. If it's too uncomfortable for you to be on the knees, you can come to sit cross-legged. Or the third option is to come into our toe sit or our toe stand. So You come over, you untuck all 10 toes, so especially make sure those little pinky toes come all the way untucked. This can start to get uncomfortable very quickly, so just work into it, breathe into it. Might feel like your toes are going to snap at one point. I promise they won't. Just stay exactly as you are. If it gets too much though, you can just untuck the toes. Then from here, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. This time, whatever way you naturally interlace your hands, I want you to move the opposite thumb on top. So it's the very odd way to do it. This way, we create new neural pathways in the body. So draw the palms of the hands towards one another. Sit up nice and tall. Make sure you don't slouch into the spine or stick the hips forward. You want to really sit up nice and tall, keep drawing the navel in and up. Then from here, inhale, reach those arms behind you. Exhale, bring both palms of the hands to sit on top of the right hip. Then from here, you draw the elbows together towards one another. So you're getting this beautiful opening through the front of the chest as well as into the left shoulder as well. Maybe you close through the eyes. Maybe you breathe deeply. And then from here, gently release, take the hands behind you. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, take it to the opposite hip, so sit on top of the left hip. Draw those elbows towards one another behind you. Again, keep making sure that those hips stay tucked, the pelvis stays tucked, the spine stays long. Breathe into it. If the toes are feeling really uncomfortable, just keep breathing. Just a couple more breaths with it there. And gently release the arms and then untangle the fingers, walk yourself forward. Whew. Then from here, you might like to start to bring the blood flow back. Maybe you tap the feet a few times, slowly becoming harder and harder until they feel relatively normal again. Then from here, let's walk the hands one handspan further forward. I want you to tuck your toes, lift your hips, draw your ribs back towards your thighs. Keep a nice bend in the knees as you work into your first downward facing dog. Just breathe here. Maybe you walk out the heels if you want a little stretch into the backs of the legs. We're not really flowing through any vinyasas today. We're simply taking it still, taking it gentle, but just feel into the nice release this pose can give you. And then from here, I want you to inhale, roll yourself all the way forward. Come into a plank pose. Feel free to drop to the knees at any time. Otherwise, stay up nice and tall. Keep the navel drawing up towards the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale here. And then exhale, just lower yourself all the way down onto the floor. Then from here, lay the tops of the feet onto the floor. Inhale, come into a cobra, Bhujangasana. Lift up through the chest, the head, using the strength of the back and the lower belly here. Really strengthen here, no weight in the hands. And then gently lower down. Let's do that again. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale, lower. Then from here, I want you to take your arms out into a cactus or into a T shape. Ideally, bending through the elbows into that cactus shape to get much more depth in the pose. Then I want you to take your left hand, bring it underneath your left shoulder. Bring your right cheek to the mat. And then from here, press into that left hand, roll onto your right side. So this right hand has stayed at a 90-degree angle. You'll keep the shoulder drawing down towards the floor. You should start to feel a nice stretch on the inner right chest, the inner right shoulder. You can bend through the knees here if that feels more comfortable for you. You don't have to extend the legs long, but you just find whatever variation feels good for you. If you can't feel the stretch in the shoulder, start walking that right hand up away from you at a diagonal angle. But it should feel really nice and beautiful through this whole right chest area. Really nice release. Keep breathing deeply. And then gently, slowly, just roll yourself back to center. And we work into the other side. So bring that left arm out into that cactus shape. Bring the right hand underneath the right shoulder. Keep that left shoulder grounding down. Left cheek comes to the mat as you roll onto your right side. Again, option to bend through the knees or keep the legs straight. Feel into that left chest, that left inner shoulder. This is also a beautiful way to start opening through the heart. So feel the energetic effects of that as well. And then from here, gently, slowly bring yourself back to center. Then I want you to walk your forearms out in front of you so that your elbows are underneath your shoulders. Palms of the hands rest onto the floor, coming into our Sphinx pose. So activate through the legs, really press the tops of the feet into the floor. Draw the navel in and up so you're not compressing too much into the spine. Be nice and active here as we come into a bit of a deeper back bend. Relax the shoulders back and down, open through the chest. Breathe deeply. Close the eyes. And then from here, you can either keep the hands as they are or maybe draw the palms of the hands together in front. Then we're going to work our way up. So walk the knees in. Then from here, we're going to come to sit and we're going to come to lay onto our back. Now, this is the final few minutes of the practice. I recommend just coming to a normal Shavasana, but if you do have blocks, you can take a nice last release whilst you're in your Shavasana type position. So if you've got blocks, what you'll do is you'll bring them to make a T shape on your mat. So towards the top of your mat, make a T shape, but there is a gap in between the blocks. So the gap is about one sort of normal handspan away, but depending on the length of your spine, you might need to make it slightly wider. Then from here, what you'll do is you'll come to sit, again, about one handspan away from the base of this block. Then you lengthen through the spine. You lower yourself down so the block comes down in between your shoulder blades. So you want it resting right in between your shoulder blades, and then the other block is resting underneath your head. So you can find that variation. It's quite a deep release. For a lot of people, you can flip the block onto the lower height if that feels better. Then you just let the arms fall wide, palms facing up. You can take the feet out and let the knees fall in. You can extend the legs if that feels good, or cross the legs, whatever you like. Then you just gently release here. We'll just be taking 2 minutes here. So either this or just your ordinary Shavasana, lying flat on your back. Whichever option you've taken, just allow the body to relax completely. Allow yourself to let go. Allow a beautiful sense of softness to enter the whole body. And feel the softness that you've created within the upper body. Just allow yourself to completely let go. Allow yourself to simply be. Shavasana. And then gently start to draw your awareness back to the room. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe create movement in the wrists and the ankles. Maybe take a nice big breath in, maybe a stretch if you're lying flat on your back. And exhale, let it go. And everyone, no matter where you're at, draw the knees in, place the feet on the floor. And then take your left hand, roll over onto your right side, rolling off the block if you are on top of them. The head might still rest on the top block. And then gently, slowly bring yourself all the way up to sit in a comfortable seat with the eyes closed down. Bring the hands in front of the heart. Take a moment of gratitude. Feeling the love and nourishment you have given your body today. Gently blink open the eyes
as we say namaste. Thank you for joining me. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel because it really helps support. Thank you so much.